So I'm sure you guys know good old classical liberal or the last liberal Dave Rubin. Now, in the previous video that I made about Dave Rubin, I talked about how he was a sellout and compared what he believed in, what he said prior to receiving Koch brothers money from Learn Liberty, and what he now says after receiving money from the Koch brothers and Learn Liberty. So now, in that video, I focused on some of the tweets that he sent out against, comparing how he supported Bernie Sanders and now doesn't support him and is against him. Now, today I wanted to look at, I'll replay you guys this clip of Dave Rubin saying that he supports Bernie Sanders, who he describes, Dave Rubin describes Bernie Sanders as a socialist. So, which, again, Bernie's not a socialist, but, you know, if he describes Bernie as a socialist, that would mean that Dave Rubin's a supporter of socialism. So check that out.
Bernie Sanders will be the next president. If you guys know anything about me at this point, you know that I do like Bernie. He's the guy that pretty much everything he says, I pretty much agree with. I don't know that we could pay for all of it, but I'm pretty much there. Like Bernie. I have a hard time making fun of him, except for the Larry David stuff, which SNL's handling pretty well. How likely, unfortunately, I find it very hard to believe that sort of an old socialist from New Hampshire is going to be the next president. I don't necessarily see it, but don't lose hope. People get angry every time I say that. That doesn't mean that this thing is not good, because what he can do is, look, if it's going to be Hillary on the Democratic side, he can push her left or pull her left, right? And what he can also do beyond that is change the dialogue even after, whoever, even if a Republican became the next president, you know, some of the social stuff and the money in politics and the 1%, all that stuff, he's made that discussion important. And not everything always comes just because the president's the guy in charge. So try to feel good about that.
Now, if Dave Rubin said that he supported a socialist, that would mean that he is a supporter of socialism. Now, flash forward to 2018. He has made a video literally titled "Socialism Isn't Cool." So in the previous one, I showed you guys how he supported Bernie Sanders at the time, but now he's against Bernie Sanders. But I wanted to explain how it's even deeper rooted than that. That's kind of more of an example of his change, but he's had such a entire ideological change, going from, you know, again, I'm not strawmanning, I'm not representing. He said that he supported Bernie Sanders, who he called a socialist, meaning that he would be a supporter of socialism. And now he's making videos saying socialism isn't cool, and that he's a libertarian, and that he believes in small government, and that often government is the problem in the first place, or that it's not the answer. So I wanted to again highlight how Dave Rubin is just a massive sellout and show you guys that the reason that he has flipped like this is because of the money that he's receiving from the Koch brothers. It's because he's now making money on Patreon, $30,000 a month, which is a fucking crazy amount. And that is the reason why he has flipped.